Bullied Kid Prepares for Ice Age. The individual stepped outside due to the power outage, and one person inquired, "Is there electricity at your place?" A woman holding a baby responded, "No, we don't have running water either. There's no hot water to mix baby formula, and my little one won't stop crying." A man wearing glasses remarked, "It's freezing out here. The air conditioner is useless, and we can't even use the heater. What should we do?" Meanwhile, the mother tried to soothe her baby. Someone else questioned, "Why haven't the authorities shown up to handle this? If this continues, I'm worried people will freeze to death." Another person asked, "When will this snow stop?" The air conditioner is useless, and it's degrees below zero inside. Yet another voice chimed in, "We don't have much food at home, and with the snow, we can't go to the supermarket. Is there another option?" In Jang Yi's room, he muttered to himself, "We can't rely on officials at a time like this." He absent-mindedly picked at his teeth with a toothpick, while a plate of steaming hot chicken sat on the table. He then switched on his generator for light, making him the only one with lights on in the building. Elsewhere, Auntie Lynn and her grandson huddled under a blanket, shivering. She wondered aloud, wasn't everything fine just a few days ago? Why did the lights suddenly go out? In their neighborhood group chat, discussions were underway. One person speculated, "They're saying this global blizzard might be a once in hundreds of thousands of years event. It could lead to another mass extinction, the end of the world." A woman countered, "With a population of over a billion, it's impossible to help everyone. Several major cities here have already fallen." Another person added, "If we want to survive, we'll have to rely on ourselves. Stockpiling supplies, especially food and heating sources, is crucial." Auntie Lynn read through the messages and thought, "Supplies? I need to get some from the store." Meanwhile, her grandson asked, "Why is it so cold outside? When are Mommy and Daddy coming back?" Auntie Lynn reassured him, "Don't worry, Mommy and Daddy will be back soon." She resolved to protect them both and ensure their survival. With that in mind, she messaged the group chat, "Everyone, this disaster is temporary. Repair work is underway, and our neighborhood committee will manage things during this critical period. Non-cooperation will have serious consequences, with the police getting involved for enforcement." Li Canning turned to Yu Qing and asked, "Is the situation really that serious?" "What's going on outside?" Shui Hao chimed in. "She's so hooked on having a little power. So boring." Meanwhile, Chen Zhenghao remarked, "That old woman using chicken feathers as arrows hasn't solved anything. Now she's issuing orders." His gang members shivered nearby, and the bald man asked, "Brother Chen Zhenghao, we can't go out. We don't even have medicine for reducing fever. How long do we have to tough this out?" Chen Zhenghao retorted, "Isn't it because you guys are useless? You didn't teach Jang Yi a lesson, but instead, he taught you one." Meanwhile, in Jang Yi's apartment, he had just finished playing Grand Theft Auto V. As he glanced at his phone, he saw Auntie Lynn's messages. She mentioned that the blizzard had severely impacted everyone's lives, and according to the official notification, the snowfall would continue for a short while. Auntie Lynn added that, in order for everyone to navigate this tough time together, the neighborhood committee would collect supplies from each household and distribute them equally. Reading Auntie Lynn's messages, Jang Yi thought to himself that she was using the same tactic as before, from his previous life. He then received 2 messages from Auntie Lynn, realizing that no one else had taken the bait, and she had decided to target him. Reading the messages, he saw Auntie Lynn's request, "Jang Yi, you work in a warehouse. You must have plenty of food and drinks at home, right? I remember you brought 3 carts of supplies last time." Reflecting on his past life, Jang Yi remembered how Auntie Lynn had been the one to lead in coaxing everyone to hand over supplies. Initially, he had kindly given some away, but in the end, he became frustrated with the memory. Auntie Lynn continued to send messages, saying, "Now that everyone is facing trouble, it's time for you to help. Don't worry, after this snow disaster, we'll definitely return them to you. Everyone will remember your assistance." Jang Yi decided to respond with a sarcastic voice message, saying, "That's great, Auntie Lynn. Collect more supplies, but remember to give some if you collect them for yourself." He couldn't shake the memory from his past life. realizing that Auntie Lynn had been one of the reasons why he had met a tragic end. Auntie Lynn muttered to herself, "This kid is a liar. You work at the warehouse, so you must have stocked plenty of stuff at home with all those discounted products." Frustrated by Jang Yi's reply, she held onto Xiao Hu's head, reminding herself, "I must calm down. I can't give up. If Jang Yi, the big fish, falls for it, we can get many supplies. It can at least last them for a week." Determined, Auntie Lynn then sent Jang Yi a voice message, saying in a pleasant tone, "Jang Yi, everyone knows you're the supervisor of a large supermarket warehouse. Will you really have a shortage of food and drinks at home? This is an order from the organization. You must obey it. If you make contributions this time, everyone will remember your good deeds. Listen to me. Gather your things and at least take the lead." Jang Yi replied, "I'm really not lying. Everything has been eaten these days. Even the landlord doesn't have supplies. Why don't you give me a few packs of instant noodles first and set an example?" Auntie Lynn became furious, shouting at Jang Yi over the phone, "Jang Yi, are you defying me? I represent the organization. If you refuse to hand over the supplies, you're going against the organization. I will deal with you later," Jang Yi retorted. "Represent the organization? You're just the director of the neighborhood committee, not even a civil servant or business officer. Self-coaxing is fine, but you took it too seriously. If you have the guts, go order everyone. I'll be waiting for you at home." Enraged, Auntie Lynn hung up the phone and threw it, muttering, "Bastard! Thinks I can't do anything. I am the leader of this community." She then thought to herself, "Should I gather people from the community to pressure him together? No, it might cause trouble if everyone follows his example and refuses to hand over supplies. What's most urgent now is to deceive as many households as possible." Outside, night had fallen and the blizzard still raged on. Inside Jang Yi's apartment, he glanced at his CCTV camera and enjoyed his hot steaming noodles. He remarked, "There are really some gullible people who went to give Auntie Lynn supplies. Normal people's supplies can last at most 2 days. With the low temperature, it'll be consumed even quicker. But they voluntarily fell for it. It has nothing to do with me." He observed the chaos outside and concluded, "In this world, you can only survive with supplies. Otherwise, you can only wait for death." In the group chat, "Didn't we agree on unified distribution after you took away the supplies? We've finished eating all the food at home. Please give us some," another person chimed in. "Yeah, unified distribution. We all agreed on it. Let everyone have something to eat." Meanwhile, in Auntie Lynn's apartment, her phone was flooded with messages, but she ignored them. Xiao Hu, her grandson, was eating inside the blanket, and Auntie Lynn chuckled to herself, "These are all mine. I worked so hard to trick and get my hands on these supplies. Why would I give them back to you guys?" Suddenly, Xiao Hu pointed to her phone, indicating she had a call. Auntie Lynn muttered, "Those idiots finally realize it." She saw that Chen Zhenghao had called her. Curious, she answered the call, and Chen Zhenghao said, "Hey, Auntie Lynn, you're really something, tricking everyone out of their supplies and making them yours." Auntie Lynn replied, "As the director of the neighborhood committee, it's my duty to coordinate and manage supplies for everyone." Chen Zhenghao laughed and said, "Good then, we're running low on supplies. Bring them to me now." Auntie Lynn responded, "I still need to coordinate and handle these supplies. Some families haven't turned in their supplies yet. Temporarily, I cannot distribute them." Xiao Hu continued to eat happily. Chen Zhenghao's tone turned harsh as he shouted at Auntie Lynn over the phone, "Old hag! Don't be shameless. Those things have all been enriched by you. Let me tell you, obediently hand them over, or else me and my people will come to collect them personally." As Chen Zhenghao and his thugs stormed Auntie Lynn's apartment, she shouted at them, "Don't come in. You're breaking into private property." Chen Zhenghao, filled with anger, slapped Auntie Lynn across the face and yelled, "You tricked your neighbors for supplies. I'm doing this for justice." Meanwhile, in his room, Jang Yi watched the chaos unfold on his CCTV while enjoying his favorite sausage. He chuckled to himself, "Oh, the dogs have started to bite each other. Why don't I send this video to the group chat? Their reactions will be priceless." Shen Zhenghao ordered his thugs, "Start searching. Take all the food and drinks. The neighbors worked hard to stock them, and we can't let her take advantage of them. Auntie Lynn grabbed Chen Jinghao's leg, pleading, "You can't take them. Some of the supplies are what I stocked. If you take everything, how will my grandson Xiao Hu and I survive?" She begged for mercy, tears streaming down her face. Chen Jinghao coldly replied, "That's not my concern. Let go." Auntie Lynn cried out, "Please, let us live. I beg you." In a cruel act, Chen Jinghao kicked her in the face, causing her to collapse in pain. Xiao Hu witnessed the brutality against his grandmother and was filled with rage. He grabbed a knife and shouted, "You bastards, get out!" He stabbed one of the thugs in the buttocks, making a larger hole, as the thug cried out in agony, "Are you trying to get yourself killed?" In retaliation, he kicked Xiao Hu like a soccer ball, sending him flying into the wall and then crashing onto the sofa. One of the thugs laughed and remarked, "Hey, fifth brother, when did you become so skilled with your legs?" "Like Ronaldo." Another thug added, "You kicked Xiao Hu so far. That was amazing." He tossed the knife aside and said, "Pretty cool, right? We should have filmed that." Auntie Lynn, who had been unconscious, woke up and rushed to Xiao Hu's side, comforting her grandson. Chen Jinghao sneered at them. "You both deserve it. Auntie Lynn and Xiao Hu are trash." He spat on the ground like a true gangster before leaving the apartment, declaring, "This is the price for tricking the neighbors. I'm serving justice." Meanwhile, Jang Yi had recorded everything and promptly sent it to the group chat. One of the neighbors commented, "She's a liar. She got what she deserved." A lady in the chat praised, "Brother Hao is so cool. We need to use violence to deal with these kinds of people." Jang Yi read the messages and muttered, "They haven't realized the main problem." Another person in the chat remarked, "If it weren't for Brother Chen Jinghao, we wouldn't know how to deal with despicable bastards like Auntie Lynn." Yet another cautioned, "Brother Chen Jinghao, be careful. She's shameless. She might call the police to report you." Jang Yi thought to himself seriously. Today, they dared to go into Auntie Lynn's house to rob. One day, do the same to their houses. He chuckled to himself and added, "But that's none of my business." Just then, Jang Yi received a message from the owner's group chat. Auntie Lynn was pleading, "Does anyone have hemostatic drugs, anti-shock drugs, antibiotics? My grandson was beaten up by Chen Jinghao, and Dr. Zhou urgently needs medicine for surgery." Jang Yi's mind raced as he remembered Dr. Zhou Kier. The message made him wonder, Dr. Zhou Kier wants to perform surgery on Xiao Hu? The urgency of the situation hit him, and he knew he had to act quickly. During the group chat, Dr. Zhou Kier informed everyone, "I've temporarily stabilized Xiao Hu's injury, but it's only emergency treatment. It won't last long. If any of you have extra medicine on hand, please come to me if you encounter an emergency." Jang Yi reflected to himself that Dr. Zhou Kier was a doctor at Tianhai First Public Hospital, known for saving many lives in his previous life. She was considered one of the few good-hearted people among this group of neighbors. Auntie Lynn desperately replied, "Xiao Hu needs medicine to survive. Please, help me. I'll kowtow to you guys." Chen Jinghao sarcastically replied in the group chat, "You'll kowtow in the group chat?" mocking her plea. Another person chimed in, "Dr. Zhou Kier saved your grandson Xiao Hu because she's kind-hearted. But why should we help you? You defrauded everyone's supplies." A lady added, "Saving is an act of kindness, but not saving is our choice. You're trying to morally coerce us. Your grandson deserved to be beaten as retribution." Meanwhile, Jang Yi in his apartment pondered on the situation. He noted that Dr. Zhou Kier, who was usually aloof, had spoken out in the group chat to save Xiao Hu. He acknowledged, "It's indeed an act of kindness. But even if that kid is saved, the snow disaster will continue for a long time. The outside world has been paralyzed, and we can't hold on for much longer." Someone in the group noticed a window almost covered in snow, asking desperately, "What do we do?" "The first floor is almost submerged in snow," a panicked lady exclaimed. "The news said this is a disaster that happens once in hundreds or thousands of years. What will happen in the end?" It had only been a week since the snow started, but the world was flooded with blizzards. In some northern cities, the temperatures dropped to more than degrees below freezing. The snowfall persisted for days, increasing instead of decreasing. Many cities were directly submerged, and residents who failed to evacuate were buried under the snow. In the midst of the chaos, Auntie Lynn continued to send messages in the group chat. I am a cadre of the neighborhood committee, and you all need to hand over all supplies. Failure to do so is a blatant violation of discipline, and you will be penalized. Another message from Auntie Lynn pleaded, hand over the supplies, are you all going to watch us die? And yet another message from her read, it's been a long time since Xiaohu has eaten anything. Please, save him. He's still just a kid. Auntie Lynn sent another message in the group chat. Who has food? My grandson and I haven't eaten anything for days. I can buy it at a high price. A lady replied. I still have a few packs of instant noodles. I can sell them to you for each pack. Shuihao quickly responded to the lady. I offer each pack. How many do you have? I'll buy them all. Meanwhile, Jang Yi in his room casually ate his chicken and remarked, things are getting interesting. The neighbors discussed the chat messages, with one person excitedly saying, each pack. Am I seeing things? Another person expressed concern. Why are the prices getting higher? I'm scared. Someone else chimed in. Stop joking. Do you really think it's the end of the world? A lady lying in bed remarked. It's just heavier snow today. Winter arrived earlier. It's not a zombie siege. Why are you all so scared? Jang Yi continued to eat calmly and thought to himself, zombie siege? Don't compare these lowly disasters to this freeze apocalypse. You guys are way too naive. In his room, Xu Hao shrugged. I don't care so much. I have money. Can't I spend money to feel at ease? If you want to sell, then private message me. If not, forget it. Looking out of his window, Xu Hao observed, the entire city's transportation and facilities are paralyzed, and the situation isn't looking good. I need to quickly get supplies from these poor people while money is still useful. People began messaging Xu Hao. A worried mother messaged him. How can you be like that? Our family has nothing to eat. Buying food is life-saving. Xu Hao replied. I didn't snatch it. I just offered a higher price. Isn't it their freedom to sell it to whoever they want? Why do you care so much? The mother then messaged the group chat. Everyone, please help us. My daughter is only months old. I don't have any food to feed her milk. We are about to starve to death. Jang Yi read the message and thought to himself about the desperate situation. He noted that the mother asking for help with her month-old daughter might seem innocent at first, but it was likely more complex. In his previous life, she had hung on for a long time while caring for her daughter, Shili Mei. 10 days later, while Jang Yi was working out, his phone rang. He picked it up and thought to himself that most people should have finished eating all their food by now. It was Yu Qing and Li Caning on the video call. In the background of Jang Yi's video chat, the shelves were filled with food. Jang Yi jokingly said, why did you guys video call me? Looks like you guys have lost weight. Congrats. Yu Qing and Li Caning couldn't help but drool over the sight of the food. They asked, Jang Yi, why do you still have so much food? Did you stock up during the last purchase? Yu Qing noticed, your place seems to be very warm. Why are you wiping sweat? Jang Yi laughed. Oh, these are just junk food. I eat them because I'm lazy to cook. Usually, I don't move much. My house has a fireplace, so it's so warm here that it makes the room uncomfortably hot. Yu Qing then made a cute face and said to Jang Yi, Brother Jang Yi, you're amazing, so well prepared. I admire you so much. Can you let me come inside your house and take a look? To Yu Qing expressed, we haven't seen each other for so long, I miss you. In her mind, Yu Qing thought, let me give you a little sweetness first, then I can secure my long-term meal ticket. Jang Yi, annoyed by Yu Qing's approach, retorted, it's so cold. You should rest at home. Jang Yi thought to himself, so disgusting. I must have been crazy in my previous life. Why did I spend years trying to make this girl my girlfriend? Jang Yi then remarked to Yu Qing, even though I don't know how cold it is outside, judging from your appearance, the temperature should be quite low. An irritated Yu Qing shouted back at Jang Yi, Jang Yi, don't go overboard. We're freezing and starving, and you didn't help, but you still dare to gossip nonsense. Jang Yi replied casually, oh, so, you're quick to stop acting innocent? You took the initiative without a motive. I didn't see you going after a rich kid. It's okay to pretend, but don't treat me like a fool. This angered Yu Qing even more, and she shouted, Jang Yi, you bastard. Shut up. Jang Yi, unfazed, responded, aren't I just being honest and speaking the truth? Why are you so angry? We're not relatives or friends. Why should I help you guys? Yu Qing tried to continue shouting insults, but Jang Yi ended the call. In her rented apartment, Yu Qing threw her phone on the floor in frustration and exclaimed, "That damn bastard! Who does he think he is to scold me?" Li Keining tried to console her, saying, "It's because you didn't do well. Otherwise, we could have enjoyed the things in Jang Yi's house." Li Keining then decided to tell Yu Qing the truth, saying, "Jang Yi is much better than those from rich families. You're still pretending to be aloof. Now you're exposed, right? Acting like everyone wants you." This infuriated Yu Qing, and her eyes turned red with anger. She attempted to punch Li Keining from behind, shouting, "Li Keining, you girl dog!" The two of them ended up fighting on the bed. The scene shifted to Jang Yi's apartment, where he watched the news. The report stated, Tianhai city officials have issued a notice that in order to meet everyone's demand for electricity, power supply will be provided from p.m. every afternoon. High-power electrical appliances cannot be used. Only low-power electrical appliances such as kettles, mobile phones, and other small devices can be used. Major power stations are currently out of operation, resulting in a shortage of electricity. We hope everyone will consciously reduce their electrical consumption to avoid large-scale and long-term power outages. Jang Yi sipped his wine and remarked, "Finally, the officials can't hide it anymore." He then opened his tablet and began reading messages. A person in the group chat exclaimed, "Have you guys seen the news? The power outage has begun. The rumors on the internet are true." A girl expressed her frustration. "What on earth are people doing at this time? Even my water pipes are frozen." Another person offered an instant noodle pack for sale. "I have an instant noodle at home. Does anyone want a pack for?" Jang Yi thought to himself that even though they knew it was the end of the world, money was almost useless and had no effect. Yet, people were still using life-saving supplies to exchange for things. Jang Yi walked out of his room and declared, "Life has to go on. Even if we lose hope, no one wants to die. We have to grit our teeth and persevere," as he held his wine amidst the blizzard. In various scenes, Auntie Lynn took care of Xiao Hu and tried to wake him up, thinking of how she would tell Xiao Hu's parents if he passed away. Chen Zhanghao held his pistol, thinking of Dr. Zhokar, how pretty and kind she was, and how she saved his legs. Meanwhile, Dr. Zhokar checked Chen Zhenghao's leg on his couch, reminding him, "Remember to give me the supplies you promised." Xue Hao carried boxes of supplies he bought for the poor people, thinking to himself that he could hang on for a while longer. Yu Qing and Li Keining were bruised from their fight, talking to each other. Li Keining asked Yu Qing, "What are you planning to do? Now that the entire world has the snow disaster, we can't go anywhere. Other than Jang Yi, who else can we count on?" Yu Qing replied determinedly, "We will kill Jang Yi and occupy his house. Just course, just the two of us aren't enough. We can't let too many people know." She then called for Zhou Peng. Thank you for tuning into my videos. I hope you've been enjoying them. I'd like to ask for a small favor. I've noticed that only 7.7% of you are subscribed to my channel. To all my viewers, I greatly appreciate your support in helping my channel grow. Please consider hitting the like button, subscribing, and sharing your feedback with me. Your input will help me enhance the quality of my videos. Thank you all so much, and lots of love to each and every one of you.